Welcome to my world.
Hello, and welcome to Jørg's World. Here is another episode of Jørg's World Alive, you know, my Sunday show. When you look in the stream or when you look in the replay today, I have a band from Ottawa in Canada, which is pretty hot at the moment. And I just want to tell you, if you want to listen to the music of ROCKIN ENGINE, you can switch in bluetoradio.com today at 8 p.m. Detroit time, and you will listen to lots of absolute amazing indies and also to ROCKIN ENGINE. So, more music. how did you say in the last radio show? An interview can say more than 1,000 words. And here we have, I hope here we have, let me find my mouse pointer. So, here we have Rockin Engine. Hey boys!
Hey!
Hello. How's life in Ottawa? Do I say it correctly? Ottawa.
Ottawa. Yep. No,
Ottawa.
life's pretty good. We're glad that COVID restrictions are a bit less painful at the moment. So yeah, life is starting to come back to some sort of normal. And yeah, it's warm, it's sunny, it's fun. We're glad to be here.
It's like you're living in Florida.
Almost. At this time of the year, yes. I wouldn't say the same in December, though.
Yeah, when I think of Canada, I see mountains, I see snow before my inner eye, but temperatures up to 50 degrees Celsius are not normal over there.
No, not at all. I think the most we have, normally is maybe between 30 and 35. Which is very comfortable, but in the winter we can get like minus 40. So yeah, it's a pretty full range of temperatures.
And I think that's the reason why you are making so hot heavy metal music.
Yeah, we got to warm up. I mean,
so nice to have you here.
Steve, well, we're absolutely honored to be on the show. Thanks again for all the support you did for us during the past weeks and on your show. Thank you so much for airing a lot of our tunes. And yeah, we're absolutely honored to be on the show today.
John from Pluto Radio would say, good music deserves to be heard.
Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you.
And for today, we talked a little bit before I started the stream here. I prepared 2 videos. I have Hiding in Darkness, which is a video coming out of the year 2019, when I'm correct?
Yeah, that's it.
And at the end of the show, we will watch the amazing video, Let It Burn. So you did a lot of stuff since 2018 or 2019. You improved your quality amazingly. How did it come? Why did you do that?
Well, to be honest, the first album we did was really experimental. We didn't really know what we wanted. We were kind of searching ourselves as musicians. We really just tried to do it for ourselves. It was like just a goal that we had, like, let's do a CD, let's do an album. And so that's why we produced it ourselves. We didn't anticipate any return from it at all. I mean, we didn't know if it was going to take us somewhere or what, but it did actually. The song that you mentioned, Hiding in Darkness, is a song that really touched a lot of people because it talks about suicide prevention, so suicide prevention awareness and stuff like that. And if you watch the video closely, you'll see that there's a kid being bullied at school, and you'll see that there's someone who's going through depression and suicidal tendencies and stuff like that. So it's a hard subject to cover, but I think it deserves to be said. I think it deserves to be heard, everywhere, and that's why we did a video for that song. And afterwards, the reason why we decided to maybe get to a higher quality of music and production is because we had a lot of demand afterwards, and it was a pleasure to hear. I mean, we didn't realize at that point that people actually loved our music. So we decided to write an EP. And we decided to record professionally this time, and we were absolutely floored, with the results and the nice comments that we had with this EP. Yeah. So I think it was a good move on our part to do it professionally, and we're going to go the same way for our upcoming album that we're working on right now.
When will we hear it?
We're aiming for 2022 because there's still a lot of work to do. I think we're 5 songs in right now for the album, so we'll see if we add more. We're not sure yet if we're doing an EP or a full album. We're still discussing it, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quality material for sure. New influences, a lot of I mean, as musicians, we grow as well, so. We learned a lot, from our last album, and we use everything we learned, even the mistakes we did, to better ourselves as musicians.
Yeah. To become better and better. How is your song creating process when you say you're doing a new album? Do you think about, hey, I need 10 songs, and these 10 songs have to be in this order? I need two ballads and 2 fast rock songs, and or how do you start the process? Usually the bass player starts to play to write the songs, making the lyrics, then the drummer comes in singing the second voices, doing ballads like as we had before, Kumbaya my lord, and so so how's your process?
I mean, in terms of layout on the album, it's the way I see it. When you listen to the songs on our last EP, we wanted to create like we wanted it to be like a storytelling fashion. So when you listen to the first song, and after you listen to the second song, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, there's a story. It all makes sense when you listen to them, in the order that they're placed in on the album. But in terms of quantity on the album, I don't think it's necessary to have a certain amount of songs. I think it's just better to have quality before quantity. And that's the way we did it. That's why we simply did an EP, because we thought that, with these 5 songs, the story that we were telling, was full. And that's why we did it that way. But like I was saying earlier, for our next album, it's still unsure if we are going to do like a 5-song EP or maybe 6, 7, 8 songs. We're not sure yet, but we're still working on it. It's going to depend on, as well on the creating process. Right now, we're really motivated, so it's easier to write, but sometimes you hit a wall and you're just stuck there, and it's hard to create. And but right now, I think we're lucky enough to ride that wave where we can create and have fun and be inspired. And so right now, writing is going very well. And I started writing my lyrics again the past week. So it's really fun to see the creating process, the way it develops. And when you start putting all this together, when we jam, that's where the magic comes to life. And so yeah, and that's where we decide, if we keep it or we flush it. So when we play it together and it sounds good and we're like, oh yeah, we have to play this live, well, it's a keeper. But otherwise we're not, okay, maybe we'll keep some riffs for another album.
We take it on the B side of the
CD.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a talk to Rick from Martyr from the Nederlanden, from Holland.
Yeah.
And he told me his process is he's doing the songs at home, making a rough concept of a song and sending the files to the other band members. So he gets back a part of a drums, part of a bass guitar, and so. And when the song is almost finished in his pre-production in his studio at home, then they are going into the rehearsal room and try that out to play. So you say you have only fragments, you have only parts of a song or so?
No, it's pretty much the same. It's exactly the same way we do it. We pretty much write on our own, and afterwards, when we have like not a complete project, but a really good layout of the way we see the song, then we present it to the other band members and see what they think, see if they want to add or remove something, or maybe they have ideas, for breakdowns and stuff like that. And afterwards, we all mix our ideas together from that, plan, from that original plan. And that's the way we work, and it works really well.
And who brought you to the idea to be a post-apocalypse band? Was it by random, or was it by pandemic, or what?
The thing is, the funny thing about it is that when we wrote our song Mass Hysteria, Mass Hysteria really talks about the people being controlled by media and governments and stuff like that. But we wrote the song before the pandemic. So afterwards, I was like, man, I don't want people to think that I was inspired by the pandemic, for that song. So, but it just happened, and there's a lot of things coming. There's a lot of things happening in this world that before the pandemic that really need to change. And so the song was based on that. So the whole post-apocalyptic thing, it was really inspired by what was already going on before the pandemic. So, and it's not a certain style that we're trying to keep on going. I mean, it's really part of the album. It's the concept of the album. So we wanted to give that image, when we for our upcoming shows and for our photo shoots and stuff like that, to really represent the work on our album. So that's why we decided to go the post-apocalyptic way. And being a huge horror movie fan, it just made sense to do it.
Freddy rules.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, our videos always have this little insight with horror movies and or movies like Mad Max or other types of movies. So that's why we decided to just keep that that thing we have going. And our video producer really loves it too. I mean, he always has fun producing our videos, and we always try to push him as well. So yeah, it's just fun. I mean, the post-apocalyptic thing is one thing, but it's really to represent the album. So it's really to represent the songs.
Yeah, and the video we're going to see at the end of the show, Let It Burn, it could be a scene out of Mad Max. Absolutely. That's amazing.
That's what we heard. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, that's Mad Max. That's Mad Max." But the thing is, the whole concept was decided before we even noticed it looked like Mad Max. So,
Okay.
it wasn't our goal to really look like Mad Max, but it was just going that way. And afterwards, people were like, "It's like Mad Max, the movie." Yeah. Yeah, well, now that you mention it, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so it's more Mad Steve than Mad Max.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Mad Engine.
Yes, and I could see, I've watched your videos before. Let me look for the videos, and I'm not sure, but in one of the videos, I think it's Hiding in Darkness, you're playing a green guitar. So you're a fan of the green energy?
Actually, no, I don't have a green guitar on that one. I use a Fender Telecaster in that one. But I did a few shows. I did a show with a really sparkle green Telecaster. So that's probably the one, the picture that you saw, yeah.
So, should we have a look into the video, into Hiding in Darkness?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay. So, I start.
started to spread.
Bam! What a hammer!
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
But Paul is watching us from Argentina. Paul,
Nice.
you missed something. It's not a rocking car engine. It's a rocking engine.
Yeah.
And I think the boys will explain to us the band's name.
Well,
Only for Paul. Only asking for a friend.
I mean, we'll make it pretty simple. When we started as a band in 2015, we were a cover band. So we were covering, hard rock songs from Motley Crue, Kiss, and stuff like that. And at some point, we wanted to do some shows, but we needed a band name. So we were kind of confused, what the hell are we going to call ourselves? So, okay, let's, what do we like? So we like rock, and we like cars and motorcycles. So
And
we just came up with Rockin' Engine, and it just stayed.
Okay.
We just kept it that way. If you ask me, I don't really like it, but
Okay.
You're stuck.
but we're stuck with it now, and there's no point changing it. So yeah, I mean, Rockin' Engine.
You shouldn't tell that to your bandmates, I guess.
Oh, they know.
So as we heard, everything is really on the point in your music. I've listened to a handful of songs and everything's on the point. And hey, Mr. Drummer Man, I love your ride bell. It's so cool.
Oh,
You're right.
yeah, thank you, man.
What ride are you using? Is it a special brand or something?
The right gets you.
It's Mega Bell Ride.
Okay.
Mega Bell Ride.
Yeah, from
Okay.
Maple.
Okay. It's
German.
really cool. Most of the bands nowadays, of the hopeful bands, avoid to play the right bell this hard, but I love it. I always loved it.
Yeah, the actual bell is really big on the ride, so it's really it's a huge bell on it. So it sounds amazing.
It really
If you-
really cuts through the mix. So, it's just I really hit hard. So when I play on it, it's like ting ting ting.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's on the point. I remember many years ago when we started with the first rock songs. Our drummer had a cymbal from Turkey. It was a hand hammered ride bell.
Okay.
And I had no chance to get the right sound out of the bass drum mic. It was no chance.
It was so loud.
Absolutely. Such a bell too. Dong dong dong.
Yeah, well,
So-
it really cuts when we play live. You really hear it. You don't even have to mic the cymbals. I mean, you really hear them. And like he said, he hits really hard. So, I mean, even with our in-ears, we don't even handle the cymbals because it's too high. And yeah, so it really cuts through the mix.
Yeah, and everything else is also exactly on the point. Okay,
Well,
I
thank you
see
so much.
when you're working in studio, you have the chance to quantize anything or so, but I don't think it's needed in your band. How did it come that you are playing everything this way on the point? Was it
Well-
natural, or did you train that?
Yeah, I think it's just naturally. We're all, I mean, we've been musicians for a long time, and I mean, at some point, there's this chemistry that we have all together. And I always say that chemistry is one of the most important things in a band, and I think it shows when we play. And we come from entirely different backgrounds musically, but it all makes sense when we create our music. So we always know where the other is at, and we always know where he's going. So I think the chemistry is really, really good. That's why, everything makes sense when we put it all together.
Anyway, we're stuck together.
Yeah, we're stuck together.
Okay.
Nobody else wants to play with us.
I know that problem. So from which direction do you all come from?
Well, I'm more. I mean, I've always loved
Operas?
the '80s metal, but you know, my really big inspiration and influence came from Billy Idol, and yeah, I mean, that's what made me want to play music. Billy Idol was my favorite musician, and so yeah, and I think his attitude, his energy, his rawness, you know, when he sings, when he performs, I think it's something that I always try to do when we perform live, because I think it gets people, you know, all hyped up, and it gives a good show. And I always, you know, try to remember that before I go play live. So I don't know for you guys, what's your background?
For me, it's Children of Bottom, lots of Metallica, Pantera, you know, the good old stuff. But Children of Bottom is not that I write exactly like him, but like, no way, like I couldn't attend his level, but like, he just inspires me.
Yeah.
Writing harder songs, faster, more technical. So it's just a fun guy to watch. Too bad he's gone, but like, rest in peace. But my God, I was so lucky. I was able to see him one last time with JP in Ottawa. That was awesome.
Okay.
But, yeah, for me, it's definitely this guy.
He even brought his guitar in his truck.
Yeah.
Thinking he was going to meet Alexei. We were kind of hoping we would have, just to get that guitar signed. That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
How cool.
Next band.
He's dedicated.
Yeah.
So what about you, JP?
Myself, I think it was more like Kiss, Motley Crue on the growing up part. Then, you know, Metallica, Slayer came out, Rob Zombie, White Zombie stuff. Horror movie based, that where Rob Zombie really caught my eye. That was like, you know, he got Alice Cooper that was originally doing it. Then I think Rob Zombie kind of put a new twist to what music and, you know, what a performance should be like. It's kind of boring to go see a bunch of bands on stage with running shoes and jeans. And there's no theatrics. Music is about being a second element to yourself, right? So
yeah, a part of you.
Kiss probably did it best, because then, geez, you can't really turn that around. And everybody else embellished it to their own way. And I think Rob Zombie keeps coming back to that, because he probably did the best part. You know, you go see his show, you got the Munsters, you got Godzilla on stage, you got all the old school stuff that most kids today don't even know what it is.
Iron Maiden too.
Yeah, Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, sure, yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest influences in the world. Look at them today.
Yeah.
They're still going.
Maiden, yeah. They have a new album out now.
Well, I have it back. It's amazing.
Really cool.
It's crazy
so when you,
that these guys these guys are still going on. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and when you buy an album by Iron Maiden, you get exactly what you expect, and I celebrate that. I love it. So JP, when you say you love horror film music or so, then Black Sabbath should be a part of that.
Yep. They are. It's just so hard to mention everybody, because I grew up in the 70s, 80s era, where, man, I can go on on a huge list, and probably don't have all day to do that. But it's like, I don't know, shock factor. You know, I don't think you can really shock people today. You'd really have to be nasty to shock people today, like Cradle of Filth, bands like that. They got another whole different
Cradle of Filth
version. Seeing Guar live, getting blood all over me. These are, but see, these are the kind of things that's really cool, because then you think about what COVID hit. How is that going to change our live performances? I like to split blood. I like to do this. I like to do that. Many other musicians like to do that too. Motley Crue and them used to spit shit into the crowd. And can we still do that today? Like, what are regulations going to change for our performances?
You're going to be arrested right on stage.
In a cage.
Not all bad news is bad news. Some could be good. I did it for the sake of music.
Yeah, like the animal out of the Muppet Show. You'll get a cage on the stage.
Yeah.
It's a cool show element.
Yeah, it could be a new prop for us.
It would suit Joel very well.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's
The
pretty
animal.
funny.
So, Joe, what's your background?
Music.
I'm with this band because I have nothing better to do.
Yeah. So I was sitting on the street, didn't know what to do.
Sorry.
So I was sitting on the street, didn't know what to do. So I decided to be a drummer.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what went on. I mean,
Skin Whistle wasn't doing it anymore. We'll let people digest that one for a minute.
Oh Lord.
so yeah.
I mean, I have a different background in music. I have played some folks, old school rock, classic rock, like Supertramp, Led Zeppelin. What else? Every much of a Canadian rock band too, like Triumph.
Try? Oh.
Anyway,
April Wine.
Rush.
Wasn't they from Canada?
yeah, yeah, that's it. And also, I went a little bit into metal when I was young, but not that much. I was playing at that time with guys that was older than me, and they were more into classic rock. So that's why probably I learned from that. And then I met those guys, and then they bring me to to the metal scene.
We tainted him.
Yeah, because those guys were more into metal than me at that time, and then I have to learn some new licks and new rhythm. Really work hard on that, but it's pretty interesting when you go forward when you're learning music, and you go from one stage to another, and it's pretty cool. That I'm really proud to know these guys, because they bring me to another level of a player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we couldn't leave him on the street too. I mean,
That'd be cool.
I don't know who this guy is, but he followed us, and now he's playing the drums.
yeah, he smells good, so it's okay.
So, my friends, I think you can also play without electric
Yes,
instruments.
it's going to be a first for us, actually, because we're always
a premiere.
putting huge metal amps and lights and stuff like that, and always do everything big. So when you asked us to perform, you know, an acoustic song, I was like, oh, shit.
Leave us be.
But yeah, I mean, and we just worked that out, and it sounds really good. So today we're gonna play "Broken Angel" acoustic version, and hopefully you guys will like it.
And if it's out of tune,
Yeah.
because we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, then grab your guitars.
Yep. Just gonna back up a bit here.
But JP, I see you're prepared. I don't know so many bass players that have an acoustic bass.
Yeah, I got it a few years back. It was just to practice at home sometimes, because some of the stuff, like when you live in buildings, you can't play in Ottawa after 11 o'clock. The cops come more than twice. They're taking your guitar and giving you a fine. They kind of want to keep it, so I decided to go with the acoustic. But it's a plug-in as well too. So.
Oh, okay. So Ottawa is a big city?
Yeah, very big. A little over 1 million.
Oh, okay. And
Not like Toronto, but
you have to be quiet after 11. But you have traffic lights and streets and stuff like this, yeah?
Well, mostly in buildings. When there's like other people staying there, they don't want to be bothered by this hairy musician. So, they do laws for that, you know, especially for him.
Yeah, I've heard there must be people out there who don't like musicians, especially rock musicians. I can't understand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm lucky. I have pretty good neighbors, and they don't complain too much. So, at least not that I know of.
They never told a word.
No, that's it. All right.
Okay, then I'll leave you be. So, crossing fingers, here's the premiere.
All right, so here's Broken Angel from our last EP called The Wretched and the Damned. Hope you guys like it.
It started with a kiss and the empty promises. It didn't feel right, but you were so innocent. It followed with a touch. You were guided by fear. Now how can you trust when your hero becomes the villain? You were left in the dark, wondering what you did wrong. You were daddy's little princess, now you're his secret. Your heart became cold and your body fell numb. The tears in your eyes, the pain that it caused. You were hiding in the shadow of someone who said he'll be there for you. There for you. The one that you love has taken your soul. The man that you saw, always haunting your thoughts. Now that you're grown old, you can't seem to smile. You live without hope, and you can't even try. The Father you seek is one you can't reach. The God that you pray is one who won't speak. You Now please spread your wings, don't give up the fight. We will hold your hand so you sleep through the night. We will heal the wounds, we will cherish your life. You're a broken angel. You have fallen from heaven. We will show you the way. We will show you the light. Now please spread your wings. Don't give up the fight. We will hold your hand so you sleep through the night. We will heal the wounds. We will cherish your life. You're a broken angel.
Thank you.
Bravissimo! How cool! You should put that on one of the next albums or make a single out of it. It's amazing, really.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
That will be the big hit.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We actually did a remix of this song with a very well-known violin player, Rick Sanders, and from Fairport Convention. And we're actually working with some producers, minds behind the music, for a music video with Rick Sanders featuring in it. So it's going to be really, really good.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still
How
get
cool.
goosebumps.
So we have the whole orchestra vibe going with the new remix of this song.
How cool! When
Yeah.
when we're going to hear it?
Mm.
When can I play it in the radio show?
Well,
Tell me.
Our song "Broken Angel" is available on our last EP, "The Wretched and the Damned." So you can have it played if you want. I think you
Okay.
have done it too, actually. And but the new version will be out as soon. When the video is done, obviously. So probably early 2022.
Okay. Yeah, you have lots of work to do. How do you find time to make your 9 to 5 job?
What do you mean 9 to 5?
7 to 8 job.
He's off right now. He's lucky.
Well, good thing. It's a good thing I have meds to keep me awake. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of work, and we all have our full-time day jobs as well. So, and we have kids, families. So yeah, so it's a lot of work. But when you do what you love, you take the time for it, and you make the time that you have as worth it as possible. So there's not much time wasting when we work.
Yeah.
So when we jam together once a week, but the entire work is done in the behind the scenes, at home when we write and stuff like that. So when we come to the jam session, we already know what we're going to do, that night, what we're going to work on. And so I mean, the time that we have together, we make it useful, productive, and I think that's key here to making things work, in terms of time.
Yeah, and that's the key. If you have the same interest, every one of you, then you can keep working. I know so many hobby bands that are going into the rehearsal room, having a good time, drinking a beer or something. But I think it's a good point to work hard on your own skills too.
Yeah, I mean, it's always work before pleasure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
The fun comes when you're on stage and you see that the crowd is amazed.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I just can't wait to go back on stage for that exact reason. Having that interaction with the fans, with the crowd, it's the best drug you can have in the world. I mean, it's you can't get enough of it. I mean, it's really fun to see people enjoying your music, and really headbanging and doing mosh pits to your songs and stuff like that. The energy, we feed off the energy of the crowd, and we give back. And I think that's what people like, when they come see us live, because we always give 110%, on stage. We don't leave anything behind. And so, yeah, I mean, like JP was mentioning earlier, it's kind of boring when you just see musicians, just standing in their jeans and t-shirt and doing nothing. When you listen to a song live, yeah, I mean, you want an experience. When you pay for a ticket, you want an experience. You don't want to hear what's actually on the CD. If you just want to hear the music, we'll buy the CD. But when you're going to see a show, you want the experience, you want the energy, you want the smell, if it makes sense.
The vibe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So you want the whole deal, the whole package, and that's what makes the live show worth it, and that's what's going to make people go back to see your shows, and spread the word around. And I think we did a pretty good job up to this day doing so.
Kind of like on the same topic, I think when I brought that up, a friend of mine posted some old tickets going back into the 70s and 80s. Like when he first saw Kiss in Ottawa, like $9.50. Some of these huge bands like Led Zeppelin for I think it was like $4 or $5 a ticket. Yeah. Now, how hard did these guys have to work for that $5 from every person? Today, now the generation has changed. We want to see a good band. We want to be in general admission. We want to feel the vibe. You're paying $200-300 a ticket. Now, we're not at that point yet because we're still playing in the bar scene and stuff like that. But still, now what we pay for tickets in a bar scene is still as expensive as what we used to see the arena bands back in the day. So if you want people to remember you, I refuse to pay for a ticket to see guys with jeans and like I was saying back on my earlier topic, because they're not wowing me, like they may be great musicians. It's not like going to see guys like now if Dream Theater came out on a pair of jeans, because you're going to see a show, but you're going to see these top of the line musicians that
the perfection
will never reproduce what they're doing. Not like going to see Alice Cooper or Motley Crue. It's a reproducible music where these guys don't necessarily have to go to university to learn it. But then when it comes to the showman stuff, if people are going to give you their money, buy your merch, give them a show to remember. Rock and roll is messy. It's loud. We fuck up. We make a lot of mistakes. Not necessarily, I'm just saying it's one of those type of songs.
Especially him.
Especially me.
Okay.
I forget a lot of things. As long as I remember to land on my feet when I jump, I'm all good. But
I never met a bass player making mistakes. Excuse me.
Well, that's a first.
No. We know how to hide them. That's the thing.
Okay. You turn around.
How to use that slide guitar. Listen to JC for many years. remember. Simmons had a
That's
lot of tricks up his sleeve. That guy didn't know. Yeah.
That's the point when
point.
Steve says, "Hey, you have to turn around and play your mistakes now."
Yeah, I'll play it right in front of you.
You know, when you hear it, you have to look. You know.
They have the in-ears. They will miss nothing. Me, I don't have
Yeah.
the in-ear monitors. Like, I like the big,
Yeah.
loud. Yeah. So I don't hear them. They hear them. They look at me real funny.
Yeah, he's not even playing the same songs we're playing. So,
Okay, that's the moment when the whole band looks to the bass player.
yeah.
Nobody in the crowd recognize what's happening, but we musicians know what happened.
Yeah, but we always give $20 to the sound guy, so he knows that he has to cut off the bass, you know, at certain points. So,
hey, make it. Put the volume down of the bass player. He isn't switched on.
he's not even plugged in.
He was never on the whole time.
You mean that plug?
Oh, yeah.
I,
I told him I was wireless, but I was lying.
Okay. So, when you're playing on stage, you have planned a lot of concerts. Is something going on for you yet?
Well, right now we're in the talks for a show in October, but it's not done yet. We haven't been. We had a lot of offers for shows, obviously, because since restrictions are starting to ease up a bit here, people want to see live shows, and I mean, it's understandable. And so we had a lot of offers, but we can't, accept them all. So right now we're just waiting for confirmations for a pretty big show this October, and but we can't announce anything yet because there's nothing confirmed. But otherwise, we have a backup plan, and so we'll probably play in October. So hopefully. And before that, we're going to stay concentrate. We're going to concentrate on writing our new music, just to have new material to show when our shows start again. And so, yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of work to do, but we want to come back with a bang. We want to make sure that people are going to be wowed when we come back. We want to give new stuff, new energy, everything. Since we've been off for almost a year, and so we have a lot of repressed sexual energy right now, and
Especially Joel.
Yes.
we need to to give it out. We need we need to lay it off on stage. We can't wait.
And this time with a plugged-in bass player.
Yeah, I mean, he practiced a lot, in the last year, so I think we'll give him a shot.
Maybe I'll graduate to playing plugged in this time.
Put some batteries in your wireless system.
Yeah.
Or just plug it.
It's going to be fun to play live again, though. Jeez,
Yeah.
we never even got the chance to really play for the album we released. We did before the release.
Yeah.
We played them to see what people thought. They loved it. The album came out.
And it was over.
So now I think we're going to skip this album, go on to the next one. But then this is going to be awesome because then we get introduce all of it.
Yeah.
Give them one big kick in the teeth. If you still got teeth left, well then welcome the Rockin' Engine family. There you go. Buzzard style.
Yeah, I also see that the new variation, the new mutation of the virus, the Delta, is coming up. So I'm not sure if 2021 is safe enough, but 2022 should be a good year for live experiences.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we're not booking like a lot of shows in advance, because a lot of the promoters I talked to said that we might have to postpone the shows, we might have to reschedule. So, I mean, at some point, if it's still too iffy, to organize this stuff, I think it's just better to wait it out a bit and work on all the stuff that we have to work on. I mean, we couldn't even work together as a band, you know, for a long time. So we have a lot of catching up to do. We've been able to start jamming again together just 2 weeks ago. So so before that, I mean, there was absolutely nothing going on. We've been we didn't play together for like 10 months, something like that. So yeah, everything we did was, you know, online, and I mean, I think everybody is kind of tired of, you know, the online experience. They want to see live shows, and it's understandable, but there's still risks, and so I think it's worth, you know, the wait. It's worth the wait. So we're going to concentrate on 1 or 2 shows this year. Just give a really good energy, really good vibe, and really kick people in the face, so to speak. But the real show, the real work that we've been working on is going to be showed early 2022, and that's where it's all going to happen for us. Yeah, I think 2022 will be a huge year for us.
But at the same time, with all the COVID stuff, I think what's going on, I think now I think what we're working on is you won't see big tours coming in till 2022, 23 maybe. And I think in a way we kind of need to focus on what's going on in our own cities, and that's going to give a lot of attention to a lot of the local bands. And I'm sure there's a lot of bigger Canadian bands as well. I think that'll be what our entertainment's going to be, right? We're going to be just focusing on rebuilding our own musical economy, because all the good bars, well, most of the bars were shut down. They got nothing. If they had real good landlords, they helped them out, just because they knew they were good venues for bands to go. Like for us, it's the Brass Monkey, Mavericks. They have all these. They bring in all the big acts, and some. If I forgot some, I'm sorry, but those are the 2 that I can bring, and with great promoters as well. And so everybody's just suffering at that end. Like at our end, we're not really making that much money because we survive off of our jobs. But some bands do survive off money because they got to that point where they've already got their footprint put in the music. So now they're making, but this live stream stuff kind of took away, because how much can you really sell on a live stream? You know, I'm a guy that has to see it in front. I'll support my local acts because they're friends, they're family. It's part of our scene because we want to see them survive like they want to see us survive. You know, so this is where I think a lot of things are going to change. We're going to get more respect for each other as different bands, because you look at a lot of the American bands, they all work together to support each other. I don't see that as being like that in Canada back in the day, where I think that's changing the wheel, because now we're relying on each other as local acts, because I think that's what it's going to be for the next year. And we can't rely on, hey, Rob Zombie's coming to town. Who's going to open up? Like, just example, hypothetically. And this is where we got to rely off our own wits, make it a good show, show them that we still have that here too. You know, like we can. And maybe some of the bigger venues like Bronson Centers, Algonquin Commons Theaters, maybe they'll pick in some of the smaller acts and give everybody else a chance, because everybody's going to sell now, because it's going to bring live entertainment. And, you know, it's hard, especially at 25%. Bars are only open at 25% at the moment. Like, I don't even think they're allowed to do karaoke. What does that tell you about going to do a rock band? Because at one point it was strictly acoustic. So let's just hope things open up to the
that's also a process. I can tell you here especially here in Bavaria in Germany. I think it's in all over Europe that the small bars only have a little tiny stage for a DJ or for a one-man band or something. So the big, if you ask me, I could not tell you where to play with a rock band here in Germany. Okay, more to the north, I know, but I heard similar words from USA, also in the area of LA or something. Oh, I do not know where to play with my band, and that's a thing. Some of the bars didn't survive. Some of the venues did not survive the
Yep.
whole COVID thing. And what did you in the time of pandemic? You used it for songwriting and so, I think.
Yes, we did a lot of songwriting for sure. I did start a podcast, so I've been doing a lot of work, on that as well. I've been reaching out to other bands. I've participated in other musicians' podcasts as well, and so I think I did a lot of social media. I really took the time to work on all our social media platforms, make sure that we connect with the most people that we can, and it actually worked out. I mean, we just started to have a lot of people following us on Twitter, and I think we're about 1,000 followers now. And so yeah, I mean, it started really small, and now we're building this community, with our band, and I love it because now we can interact with other musicians and from around the world. And so yeah, I think all the entire networking that we did, during the pandemic is really paying off now. So so yeah, I think it was really worth, doing that work online to get people to know us. And so yeah, besides that, a lot of music writing, ideas, written down and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, we worked a lot. We all have our own expertises, and I mean, I'm a school teacher, so it was hell.
So he comes here to play live. He accepts apples.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it was absolute hell, to teach online. So my line of work really took all of my time. And so yeah, I mean, and these guys, they work in construction, so they have their own business, and it was kind of hard as well. And Steve here, well, he's a full-time dad and government worker, so with his 2 young kids,
Right now.
three young kids. He had another kid we didn't know of.
Yeah.
So
Popped yesterday.
so he's making kids, and yeah, I mean, so he was really busy. But yeah,
Not the most easy work.
No, especially when they're at home all the time.
they're easy to make.
Easy to make, but the afterwards it's kind of hard.
But to grow them up, yeah.
It's all good.
So when I say the time of pandemic increased the internet technique,
Oh yeah.
would you agree when I say it will be a really cool additional feature from now to use the internet in networking in additional streaming shows or something, or do you think we fall back now into the Stone Age?
No, I think it's actually really good because I think it's easier to expand, as a band when you start, live streams, podcasts, and stuff like that. You do your networking, and it's easier for people to grab your music and stuff like that, and to know who you are actually. So yeah, I discovered a lot of new bands from all this since the pandemic started. A lot of new bands that I didn't even know of, and I'm glad I did. I mean, it's absolutely amazing the amount of bands that I started listening to, and for us as well. I mean, it's really good to to be able to use our networking to promote our music, to promote our upcoming stuff, the work we're doing. We did a few covers just for the fun of it, while the pandemic was ongoing, And all this stuff. I mean, it's all good as long as you put stuff on your social media. People will stay interested, and we interact with everyone. So everyone who posts a comment or says something or shares our stuff, we'll always interact with them. We'll say thank you, for your support. And I think it's really important to have that connection
to
with,
keep in touch
with
with
everyone.
them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've made a hell of a lot of contacts, the past year, and I'm really glad we did. Really, really glad.
Yeah. My last question for today. Do you guys have a message for the people out there?
Wow. Do we have a message? Well, I think one message that I would tell people is right now, we can't give much details, but we have a lot of really great things going on for us right now. And it's all a result of the hard work that we did in the past 2 years. And I think the message that I'm saying is don't rely on what people necessarily want you to do, or the image that you're supposed to have, or or the rely on your favorite artist. You want to look like someone else. Be yourselves. Do your work. Do what you do, and develop that way. I mean,
Do some mistake.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Learn from that.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
But most especially, don't be afraid to put out some new stuff, even if you think it's not ready or it's not up to what your expectations.
What you expect to have,
Because at some point, if you're always holding back, you're never gonna give. So so I think it's really important, and that's a very good musician, a very good friend of mine who's an amazing guitarist. He's Paco from The Agonist. He's one of our friends, and that's one thing that he told me a while back. He said, don't wait till you're absolutely satisfied on something, because you're just never going to release it. When something is good, it's good. It's going to catch up. If it's not good, you do something else. And it's exactly what happened. And I think I thank him for that, because otherwise I would have held back and I wouldn't have released, the things that we did. And I think it's important to trust yourself. Be who you are. Be yourself. Be yourself, and develop as much as you can. Practice. Like he said, do the mistakes, learn from it, and move on.
Yeah. When you wait for the perfect take, for the perfect release, you'll be old and gray. That's absolute true.
It's
stay metal.
Yeah, stay metal.
Yes. So, guys, please stay in here a little bit. I will start our final video, your final video. I hope I will start the right one. And I've seen it has a little bit of a strange format.
Yeah.
So we'll see my banner there below, but it doesn't matter.
All good.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for this great time. I cross fingers for everything you do.
Well, thank you so much for having us on the show. Like I said in the beginning, it's an absolute honor to be here, and thank you so much once again for all your support and for playing our music. I mean, we're really grateful. Thank you.
Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.